Hello dear students, happy day. The last classes I have started the unit GST, unit 4. I got feedback from some students that my voice was not clear, it was very low and it was broken in so many places. So because of that, first I want to give you a quick recalling session of the last class. So don't worry, I will consolidate all the concepts of the last class. So it will be very useful for you all, I think so. So let's start discuss on the one. The first thing is GST. GST is nothing but goods and services tax. It came into effect on 1st July 2017. Once GST came, everybody shown the negative impacts and everybody thought it is not okay for the country like India. Even the business people or common people, even the housewives, the people who are in houses, even though they don't have any idea about GST, or hotel ku pona kuda we have to pay more. So it is not okay for the country like India, developing country like India. Like that, lot of concepts arise. But after overcome all these negative issues, now we are using GST, we accept GST, and we are running through in day-to-day life. Okay. It is a very comprehensive type of taxes. It has a multi-stage and it is a destination-based tax that is levied on every value addition. So destination-based tax is nothing but if suppose a product is manufactured in Maharashtra and it is sold to the final consumer in Karnataka, so GST is levied at the point of consumption. So the entire tax revenue will go to Karnataka and not Maharashtra. So it is a destination-based tax. Value addition is nothing but in every stage of production, from raw materials to the final product, from the final product to labeling, and from the labeling to either packaging. So every stage the GST is implemented. So it is a value addition thing. It has a multiple, it is crossing multiple stages, right? So this is the thing, we are calling it as a multiple stage. Components of GST, there are totally 3 components: CGST, SGST and IGST. Central GST, state GST, integrated GST. So central GST is for collected by the central government on an intra-state sale. For example, transaction happening within Tamil Nadu. SGST is a state GST. It is a tax collected by the state government on an intra-state sale. Example, transaction happening within Tamil Nadu. Integrated GST is nothing but tax collected by the central government for an interstate sale. Okay. For example, from Tamil Nadu to other states, we are selling products, we are supplying goods. Are from other states, Tamil Nadu government, from other states to Tamil Nadu, the products are coming in, we are receiving the supplies. So at that time, integrated GST will be applied by the central government. Okay. So there are 3 components of GST. So these 3 components eradicate, evaded all these taxes like central excise duty, duties of excise, entertainment tax, entry tax, purchase tax, sales tax, VAT, tax on lotteries and gambling, taxes on advertisements. So the 3 concepts of the components of the GST, மற்ற எல்லா taxes-ஐயும் என்ன பண்ணிடுச்சு, totally eradicates, totally deletes the other taxes. Next thing is calculations. This I have explained clearly in the last thing also. So last classes la oru video oda link I gave actually. So almost the same thing. Earlier regime before GST VAT was applied. So VAT பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் ஒரு manufacturer ஒரு product manufacture பண்றதுக்கு 1000 rupees it takes அப்படின்னா 10% of VAT will be applicable. For example, here they have given us a 10%, but actually it is not 10%. Okay, for simple example they have given. So invoice total பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா plus tax it was around 1100. So next it moves to the warehouse and it it's a value added process. So again labeling, repacking, everything happened in the warehouse. So it cost around 300 rupees extra, so 1400. So 1400 again 10% of tax 140. So it was around 1540. Then retailer advertises the product in the market and they spend rupees 500. So its cost increased from 1400 to 2040. So it was around how we can say 10% again tax rate. So 204 rupees of taxes to 2244 is the invoice total. So to the final consumer it costs around 2244. If I am a final consumer I have to pay 2244 rupees for the product. So the cost is 1800 but the total tax involved in the cost involved in the price of the product is 444 rupees. Okay. So here it is a cascading effect of taxes. The overall burden is putting on the heads of the final consumer. So this is the cascading effect. The GST totally eradicates the cascading effect of the taxes. How? We can see in the upcoming slide. Here the GST is a concept where input tax credit is available. So input tax credit abindra concept enandradhum now we can go through with this. So manufacturer 1000 rupees, the cost of the product 100 rupees is the tax, so 1100. In the warehouses they added label and repacking activities went on, so it cost increases from 1000 to 1300. Tax rate la irundhu cost increase agala, from the cost of product la irundhu 1000 to 1300 here increasing. Last earlier regime எப்படி இருந்தது அப்படின்னா 1100 plus 300, so it came around 1400. But in the GST concept 1000 to 1300, so 130 rupees is the tax. In the 130 rupees already the manufacturer paid 100 rupees of tax already, so 30 rupees should be paid here. Then retailer advertises rupees 500, so it was around 1800 now. In the 180 rupees of tax amount already 130 paid, so the balance 50 rupees have to be deposited. So the total invoice is 1980. So the product cost is 1800. The tax the final consumer going to pay is 180. So it was around 1980. So here the final consumer is enjoying the benefit of the price or the product what he or she is purchasing. Okay. So this is the input tax credit. So ஒரு manufacturer ஒரு product manufacture பண்றதுக்காக he is purchasing the input A, B and C. While purchasing the raw materials or input, he already paid the tax. For product A, he paid rupees 100 rupees tax. For product B, he paid 120 rupees of tax. For product C, he paid 80 rupees of tax. So already 300 rupees of taxes he paid. So tax on total output is 450. Now he has to pay only rupees 150. Okay, this is the input tax credit. So what is supply? According to GST, what are the things will considered as a supply? Sale, transfer, barter system, exchange, license, rental, lease, disposal made are agreed to be made for a consideration by a person in course of or furtherance of business. Consideration may be a financial consideration or a non-financial consideration, that is monetary or non-monetary consideration. Sometimes there may be no consideration also. So if suppose I am purchasing a bike, I have to pay a 1 lakh of rupee or 60,000 or 80,000 according to the product price. That is consideration, financial consideration. I am giving a product, you are paying me the money. That is the monetary consideration. Non-monetary consideration is nothing but like a barter system. I am giving you a product, you are giving me some other product. That is the non-monetary consideration. Sometimes you are providing me a service. So that is the non-monetary consideration. Sometimes there won't be any consideration. For example, you gave me a gift. If I am an employee, as a boss, you gave me a gift less than rupees 50,000, you need not pay any tax for that. It should be less than rupees 50,000. That is the only exception from the GST. Okay, this is the consideration and non-monetary consideration I have shown to you. And who is the related person under GST? Who are all the related person under GST? In the last class itself, I have discussed this very clearly. So just I am putting a slide alone. The concept I will explain it clearly now. Okay, don't worry. So if the person, the officer or a director of one business is the officer or director of the another business, and if a person or business is legally recognized as partners, an employer or employee of a business, any person who holds at least 25% of shares in another company, either directly or indirectly, one of them controls the others directly or indirectly, under common control of management, entities together control another entity, and members of the same family. These are all the persons who are considered as a related person. So, ஒரு businessல இருக்கிற ஒரு person, he invested some money in another business. So minimum 25% of shares வந்து நான் இன்னொரு businessல invest பண்ணிருக்கேன் அப்படின்னா, I am a related person to the particular business. I am running a business already, but I have invested somewhere around 25% of share value in A Limited. So according to the A Limited, I am a related person, right? அது மாதிரி I am an employee of a A Limited அப்படின்னா I am a related person to the company. So this is how. So if I am a director of the A Limited, if I am an officer of the A Limited, இந்த A Limited ஒரு merger company-யோட நான் வந்து பார்ட்னரா இருக்கேன். So like this, or I am a member of the family. If suppose my father is the director of A Limited, I am the member of the family. So I will be considered as the related person. Okay. So these are the ways we can find out who are all related person under GST. Yeah. So okay, these are the persons are related persons under GST. Then how the taxability of supply will be calculated? Okay, because if suppose I am a related person, I may get lot of money concession and I may get lot of financial considerations. So these things have to be avoided. So under this concept, related persons பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் tax வந்து எப்படி calculate பண்ணுவாங்க அப்படின்றது தான் இப்போ நம்ம பார்க்க போறோம். So here business பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் there will be two things. One is related person under GST, another one is unrelated person under GST. That is nothing but distinct person under GST.